is going on, everyone? I hope you're all having a great day so far, and let's get into another day trading recap. So this is how the Nasdaq looked today, and as you guys can see, this is right around 6:30 when the market opened up, and today was another nice and bullish day for the Nasdaq. Throughout the entire day it was trading. It kept making higher lows and higher highs basically after it found a support here in the morning, and at 1 o'clock when the market closed, we did get a nice little sell-off. I'm gonna talk to you guys about that a little later, but for now, I just wanna just quickly show you guys my recap for the day. I was only up $27.86 today. I'm very grateful to be green again, but not the best profit, obviously. I think I could definitely have done a lot better to capitalize on today's patterns. And here are all my filled orders. I only took two quick trades when the market opened up and sold those, and then I ended up trading again like 2 hours later. Once I woke up, I ended up falling asleep for a little, but yeah, so up $27.86 on TQs for the day. This is our swing trade on Tesla today, but we're not paying attention to that because this is a day trading channel. So this is the Nasdaq, like I told you guys, and today the market, right when it opened up, it had a drop to bottom VWAP, tried picking back up and making higher highs and confirming this support area, but ultimately got rejected, came all the way back down to the bottom VWAP. And I just want to make the point with you guys that I was finding myself being constantly red and having difficulty finding direction for the Nasdaq when I would trade it, especially the last time I traded real money. And I think what's definitely been helping a lot is to pay attention to Nasdaq in the different time frames, and especially the more recent ones like the 5-day 5-minute, not the more long-term ones. Those aren't as relevant in my opinion because they move so slowly, right? They're very long-term. And basically, to sum it up for you guys, even though the Nasdaq made a lower high here, right, and it did start selling off, my typical self would have started to look to get into SQs for the day, right? Just because it did make lower highs here and is selling off now below the middle VWAP and bottom VWAP, right? But ultimately, what led me to be green and know that it was going to be a TQs day was it's so important to pay attention to the Nasdaq bigger picture, because although I do agree it did make lower highs and is selling off, look at the 5-day 5-minute. This is right around when the market opened up and sold off, right? From the top VWAP to bottom VWAP. And although it hit the bottom VWAP and made lower lows than it was just at earlier in the morning, as you guys can see, it is still able to make the higher low patterns, right? The low it had here was not as low as the low it previously had here and here, obviously, right? So even though it was selling off a lot still, there was still the potential for it to be able to find the higher low, even though it obviously did fall, right? It did fall here, lower than it was previously, but just because that happens doesn't mean you automatically should be thinking, alright, it's going to be a SQs day no matter what, right? Look at a bigger picture, and you should have seen that it could still confirm this pattern, this beautiful kind of pattern it's been having the past few days, very consistent, where it would just pull up, touch the top VWAP, sell back off, touch the bottom VWAP, and then do the same thing and bounce, right? It did that same thing here, and it's just been doing that. So that's why it is so important to get a better idea of the direction on a day, because when you look at the bigger time frames, it shows you other kind of angles you wouldn't have seen just looking at the 1 day 1 minute. So once I saw that, it touched the bottom VWAP and started going up, and on top of that, every time it came back down and wanted to ride the EMA line up, I saw basically that same setup for me, and I just told myself, like, basically, we already know what it tends to do, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves, so I'm just gonna pay attention to that pattern and go with it. And I wanted to focus on TQs today, and especially at 9 o'clock, I did end up falling asleep for a little, but at 9 o'clock, I really wanted to focus on it again. As you guys can see, there was a nice little gap at 9:06, and the reason for that was because it did finally start trending above the top VWAP, right? It broke top VWAP and it broke this previous resistance it had right there, which indicates good signs that it could start surging a little more. So I decided to take another play and average up and sold for not hardly any profit like I showed you guys, but it, something is better than nothing. And I did pay attention to it when I did see a break of resistance, so I was very happy with that trade. And as for the market close, there could be a couple of reasons why, but ultimately I think it has to do with one is some big companies like Snapchat. If I can show you guys, they reported earnings at market close, and as you guys can see from just looking at it, it ain't pretty, right? Snapchat dropped humongous. It dropped like from the lows it's at here to where it was trading at market close. It dropped like 25 to 30%, you know? It's honestly showing up like around 40% from all the way to the high almost. So crazy margin when companies like this drop. The company another one I know dropped, AT&T, and this was right around yesterday, but it did have earnings and it just had a big drop as well. So companies haven't been some companies that have a big market cap, they haven't been performing the best, so they do have some type of influence on the market. And on top of that, there was news being released at 1 o'clock also with the Fed saying that basically as you guys can see, the Treasury yields basically haven't been doing too well for the economy. So that's just another bad look for the overall market conditions. And yeah, it's just another thing coming out that doesn't look too great for it. But these patterns are still holding up, and yeah, Tesla had an amazing day today. If you guys all know, today was up around 10% on the day. That's what led us to being up a good amount on the day for our count. And yeah, it was just beautiful to watch. Very excited for that. And yeah, just very excited for the remainder of the week tomorrow. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been another day trading recap. I hope you all enjoyed the video and make sure to tune back in tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.